Prediction Ascension, love me or hate me, there's no in between. So we got ourselves a drug epidemic problem now, which we already seen a drug epidemic problem in 2020, but now they're just reporting on new numbers. But they're the same thing. It's like certain streets is riddled with this. Manhattan, Queens, you got the Bronx. It's crazy. Listen to the report.
Now, new numbers show promising results on the war on drugs.
Yeah, the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene report that drug overdose deaths fell in 2023 by about 1%. The first such decrease
Not
in
even
4
impact,
years. Also encouraging, the first quarter of 2024 saw the lowest number of overdose deaths since 2020. Still, the provincial data shows 616 people did lose their lives.
And the Bronx Borough president says opioid overdose deaths in the borough remain high, with residents disproportionately impacted by this epidemic. Pix 11's Elias Marte joining us now to explain how this crisis has infiltrated open-air drug markets and communities in the Bronx and across the city.
Yeah, good evening to you both. So let's put this into context. In September, we went down to Melrose Avenue between East 149th and 150th Streets in the Bronx. Look at this video here. This is what we observed, an abundance of people injecting themselves with what appeared to be illegal substances. Others were acting erratically. Now, following that report, we received numerous of messages from the viewers. These are some of these messages telling us about similar situations in their neighborhoods. We identify over a dozen locations across the city experiencing this problem. So we took our findings or your concerns. We did that, and then we took it to the mayor's office, the NYPD, and other elected officials, and we got some answers. At the entrance to the Lincoln Tunnel in Midtown, a man screams for Narcan to be used on this individual who appears to be having an overdose. Over by Jerome Avenue and Kingsbridge Road in the Bronx. Yeah, you guys stay here all day? We met Jose. He was accompanied by who he says is his cousin, but the man was unconscious and couldn't speak. For Council Member Diana Ayala, this is a crisis that hits home.
I just lost my brother a little over a month ago to an overdose.
In Washington Heights, we found these men seemingly passed out at a park on 170th and Broadway.
See a lot of people on the floor, ambulance coming picking people up.
And a similar situation by the 125th Metro North Station on 116th Street and at Tompkins Square Park in the East Village.
A 26-year-old boy fall dead out of the porta potty, overdose, fentanyl.
In September, we visited Melrose Avenue in the Bronx with Representative Richie Torres, who has sent this letter to Mayor Adams asking for the city to take action. 9 weeks later, the problem remains.
He is the mayor. He has the authority to deploy health and police officials to dismantle the open-air drug market.
And we're working hand-in-hand with the Bronx DA, the Honorable Darcel Clark, and the local narcotics.
You know the real reason. Bail reform. That's what it was. You used to get locked up for a crack pipe or syringe or drug paraphernalia. Now they condone it. They give them legal trap houses. I was talking about legal trap houses early this year. Like, it's crazy. Joe Biden put more money into this fucking pandemic. It was a pandemic within a pandemic, like Hassan Campbell said. It's crazy. Drug usage skyrocketed. Open air drug markets, prostitution. Kevin Samuels was right about that too. OnlyFans fell because dudes gotta figure out if they want to eat, play video games, or subscribe to an OnlyFans account. You can't afford all of it no more. And you don't shame nobody. They don't shame people for doing drugs. You can't smoke crack and shoot up needles. They was doing that right in front of the pools, especially in Marcus Garvey Park. It's crazy. But bail reform tore this up. You make a motherfucker sit in the bank for a week. Okay, he can't afford bail. That's his problem. He goes to the 6th building on Rikers. He throws that shit up, gets sober, some type of sobriety within the next month or two, and he goes back to court, see if he get into a fucking program, and you don't put drugs around him. You keep putting drugs around him. The synthetic drugs that keep people on that shit, the methadone and all that. It's crazy. You can't fix this problem. It's too much. It blew up out of control already. It's out of control. People need to be safe. You can't be safe from people doing drugs. Because people doing drugs become irate, erratic, sporadic behavior. If you harm them, you're going to jail. Like that guy Daniel, that was choke. He's on trial right now for chokeholding this guy. Because obviously he had, and they did his autopsy report to do that. He choked out. He had drugs in his system. Basically, his heart exploded in his chest. Come on, man. Make it make sense. It ain't making sense no more, man. Predicts Ascension Podcast. Hate me, love me, there's no between. Like, comment, subscribe, help me out the album. You already know. Ronald Reagan and his wife did it. Say no to drugs. But they was the ones bringing drugs in, too. Shit crazy, bro. Shit crazy. It's a fucking hamster wheel. I tell you, this is how we feel like we're trapped on a fucking hamster wheel. But you already know, man. Like, comment, subscribe, help me out the fucking algorithm. You already know. Don't be lazy. Hit the like button.